What's up, Charm fans? We're talking about episode 17, Surrender. Mel had to check the elders. We have a new demon of the week, and the sisters have a really sad moment between Harry. We don't know what's happening with him, but we're about to break down the entire episode right now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, Charm fans? Thank you for staying patient. I'm so excited to break down this episode. So much to talk about. Pretty emotional, but it seems like there might be a light, pun intended, at the end of the tunnel with Harry. I don't know. We don't know what Fiona's deal is. So we're going to be breaking down the demon of the week, which is Veralis. Really creepy demon. Kind of get into the Nico, Mel, Sarkana situation. Talk about Harry's situation and kind of who is Fiona. We get a little bit more insight, but I'm actually more confused than I was last week. We'll have our very special segment where we break down the coinciding episode of The Charmed OG, season 1, episode 17, back in 99, is it? Yeah, dang. 10 years ago. So, and then we have some news and gossip, some interesting news and gossip, actually, and then we will get into some predictions and wrap it up. Before we do, I'm Steph Sabraw, and to my left is the wonderful Kamisha Lauture.
Hello, guys.
We will have the Power of Three back when the next episode airs, which I believe is April 21st.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're taking another hiatus, but whatever they got to do to make the episode fire, I'm okay with. What was your overall thoughts?
I think a lot of the things that you just mentioned with like Harry, and so with Harry, it was very emotional for that. And then with the demon himself, I think having to watch all the different scenes with him was pretty creepy and scary. So this episode, I thought was just a lot of different things, scary and sad, and it's only getting better. I truly do feel like the show is getting better each week.
Yeah, I love the demon of the week. He was really weird, but I do agree that it's getting better and better in terms of, I think the writing's getting better. Yeah. It's more tailor-made to each character. The three sisters are going more dimension in their characters. Mm-hmm. But I really got attached to Harry, so if he's not coming back, I really don't know how I'm going to feel about it. Because I feel like he's a core part of the cast.
Yeah. And
it's not one I'm really willing to trade off.
Honestly, that's going to be a big shocker to me. I understand that we're having all these different moments where we see, he's aging, and then obviously now he has his powers back, and Fiona is taking him. But I think if they cut him off, that to me is just going to be really shocking. I don't think I'm ready for that.
No, I'm not ready for it. Yeah. I feel like in the chat, you guys aren't ready for it either. Mm-hmm. That would just really be messed up. Yeah. But let's talk about Harry first. So we see him meeting up with the elders, and they're on their power hungry strike again, where they're basically saying that you put the charmed ones in danger, you had a relationship that you weren't supposed to have, and they stripped him of being a whitelighter, deeming him to the age that he would be without those powers, which is 98.
98, yes.
Which I'm so annoyed about. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that? Where do you think they're going with that?
I don't understand. Okay, I do understand why they're taking it away from him, but I don't think it's his fault in any way. Okay, so he was together with Charity, but I mean, I don't feel like they need to take away his powers because of all of that. And Charity obviously was in her own sort of element and turn her back on all of them. I think they should focus more on her and punishing her, which they have, rather than Harry.
But what idiots. They're like, she's in Tartarus. No, she's not.
Yeah. How are they not figuring this out? The elders, they're clueless.
Absolutely clueless. They don't know anything that's going on. They care so much about the sisters, yet really don't know them, have no open line of communication, which
Yeah.
the sisters have said many a times, and didn't even know for years that they were getting duped by Charity. And now they don't even let Harry plead their case. They're just making decisions, which is such an authoritarian rule. And I
Yes.
absolutely despise that. And although I don't know the elders' motives, it seems like they really have tricked themselves into thinking that everything they do is for the greater good, and
Yeah.
they forgive themselves for any decisions they make. But it's BS, because no matter how powerful you are, no matter how many years you've been in power, you can always need to check yourself
Exactly.
and ask yourself if you're making the greater decision. And this is why I have a problem with the way even in a more like earth way of thinking of things, the way we have laws and stuff is
Yes.
messed up, because every case is different.
Exactly.
And of course, like, judges do have the chance to lower years made on certain circumstances, but a lot of times it's like a minimum sentence, and that's what it kind of feels like they rule in the same way.
That's a great sort of comparison, like the justice system, and when I think about all of the ridiculous sort of punishments that people have gotten for the smallest, most petty things, it's mind-boggling. And the fact that a lot of the judicial system sort of runs by a book, and it's like, if this is what happened, then they are sort of doomed to this amount of time in jail, not even looking deep into the facts and understanding like why these things actually happen, who may have like led to actually who like is the actual like criminal and all that.
Totally.
It really is mind-boggling.
Yeah, and the girls are equally distraught as we are, and they're not having it, which I wouldn't either, because
Yeah.
they've grown a really close bond with Harry, and that's who they trust, and they're three important enough people supposed to stop the end of the world from occurring. I think that they have the right to choose who their whitelighter is.
Oh, definitely. They should.
What the heck? So they go to find the elders, and this is one of Mel's greatest moments for me, where they say to them, perhaps it's unclear who makes the rules. Like, what? That pissed me off on site, but then Mel got into her lawyer mood, which I loved. She's like, guess what? Charity duped you too. Where's your culpability?
Exactly. I loved when she said that. We needed that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's so true. I didn't even think of that comeback.
Yeah, me either.
But like, she totally duped them. So it's total BS, and I hope that they figure it out soon enough. Like, they don't even know Fiona's alive.
Right.
Like, they know nothing, Jon Snow. But yeah, it's messed up. But you think Harry will be coming back? Like,
I
for
think
sure?
so. In my heart, I just cannot let him go, and I feel like the writers and the creators of the show must feel the same way. They just cannot let that character go that easily.
Yeah.
We need more Harry.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of Harry.
No, me either. I see you guys in the chat mad too. A lot of people are confused about Fiona. I am too. We'll definitely get into that towards the end. Let's see. Small Town Guy 938. The elders are clueless. They don't even know what's going on right now. I agree. But thank you guys for being in the chat. Kamisha actually has more to say to you all.
Yes. We want to say thank you so much, guys, for supporting us and making us the ESPN of TV talk. But we do need your help. If you're on YouTube right now, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you are on iTunes, please leave us a 5-star rating. But wherever you are, leave us a comment so that you can join in on the conversation. We want to say thank you again for joining us here tonight on the Charmed After Show. And if you're new, welcome. Thank you for commenting and being involved in the chat. Come back each week, and don't forget to tell your friends.
Yes, we do love you guys. And I feel like the season keeps getting better, so we need to get more people on the Charmed boat. So let's talk about Nico and Mel. Nico calls Mel and asks to meet, and this is the first time Mel sees Nico's fiance.
Yeah.
How would you feel about that?
Crazy.
It's crazy because Mel's the only aware one. Do you think Nico's
know.
gonna get back any of her memories?
I don't know. It would be a little strange. Like, maybe eventually she'll probably figure it out, because Mel is obviously just saying all these random things like, you don't even like Earl Grey. Like, I'm not sure if Nico actually truly caught that, but I'm sure Mel's gonna have many more of those slip ups.
Yeah, it's definitely becoming more and more awkward because you can't just act like you don't know a person, because a lot of knowing someone runs on this weird subconscious level where you just understand the way people work. But this is where I got confused, because before that, the first scene we see with Nico is a woman running to her. Did I miss something, or how do they know each other? Scarlett.
Scarlett and Nico.
Yeah.
Nico saw her one day. Those in the chat, AfterBuzzers, let me know if I have this wrong, but I think she saw her along with the other girls in the cult at a grocery store or somewhere, and saw that they were like very like I forget what the
glazed
word.
over.
Yeah, and so she reached out to her and was like, "Here, take my card."
And that's how she got that paper that the friend had.
Mm-hmm. So I think so that's how Scarlett like knew where to go.
Yeah, it was just like all that was on that was a number, not an address. Where'd you find the phone? I don't know. A little, I don't know.
Details.
I won't think too much into it. Anyway, Scarlett finds her, which is actually a good thing to know, though. If you ever see people and women who you think look like they're not in a safe space, you should always... if that's ever happened to me, I've always tried to tell myself, like, provide a number or something, like code word quickly.
Exactly.
Because you really never know what's happening behind closed doors. But she runs to her house and she says all she remembers was reading a poem about her ex, crying on the sheet of paper, and then everything else was blacked out for a month. And she has a scar on her hand, and they begin to find out it's a cult, and Nico thinks it's a Sarkana. At this point, I was kind of worried that it was this. I was like,
really?
Is something happening with the Sarkana? But it seemed to go against everything the Sarkana stands for.
I couldn't imagine like the group Sarkana and Jada herself just having to orchestrate that. Yeah.
But then they find out a little bit more about the cult, and there needs to be like a certain number to make a sacrifice. And it gets really interesting from there. That's where the sisters start to do their own research, and they find out that it's this demon called Viralis, which is convenient because we do need demon blood.
Yeah.
Full demon blood for Parker, of course, who is still ill with the infection from his... It's funny because it's like you want to say from his demon father, but he's like literally a demon.
Yeah.
And this actor, Viralis, is from Pretty Little Liars, and he's also done Roswell, New Mexico recently. I need to look up his name, but he's great. As soon as I saw him, I was excited.
Yeah.
But
Tyler Blackburn.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. I was excited to see him. It was an interesting story, another kind of social take on, I think, like the patriarchy in a sense, but more like really creepy take on that.
Yes.
But he is... And this storyline reminded me of OG Charmed a little bit.
Oh, really?
Like with the whole sacrificing thing and keeping people under a spell, so to speak. But his premise is that he sees into your soul, sees your deepest desires, and promises to give it to you. And that makes sense why he found Scarlett crying into the paper.
Yeah.
And as they find out more about him, he needs to sacrifice 10 women every 10 years to maintain his virility and his life for 10 more years, which is like, I think this was we've already covered in a flashback one. I forget what episode was it, but from season 1 of OG Charm, where this demon comes and kills people. He's like the photographer. Remember? And then he almost lured Phoebe in, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. And he basically like lures you in, says he's going to take pictures and whatnot. He's really attractive, but he's actually like super aged, but takes these women so he could stay young.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, really creepy. But we see them in the cult and they all have the blue eyes. So basically his magic works by injecting him with his blood.
Yes,
right?
he gives them that potion or that drink that makes them do whatever he wants.
I think it was his blood.
Yeah.
I think it's his blood. Yeah, and then Maggie's plan. I was like, that's a good plan. Maggie's whole plan to kind of pretend like she reads a poem at the place.
Yeah,
and
it's a good plan, but also I didn't like it either. I just thought they put her in in a dangerous position for her to do that, because I mean, I guess maybe she didn't think like her powers would not work and that she'd be able to like get through it. But I just thought it was such a dangerous situation to like put herself in.
That's so true, because why would you think because you're a witch you're immune to demon powers? You're not. Mm-hmm. Like, it's been shown multiple times this season.
Yeah.
That's the one of the people that you're not immune to at all.
Exactly. So I was actually a little angry, like when he actually like seduced her and like got her. I just thought it was irresponsible.
Yeah, it was kind of stupid. But she actually, and then she gets put under his spell.
Yeah.
And he sees that what her deepest desire is a love that never leaves her,
Mm-hmm.
which shows a little bit more about Maggie. A little bit more, but we kind of knew that.
Yeah.
Like, she has a fear of loving and losing, which rightfully so. She lost her mother.
Yeah.
She's losing Harry.
Mm-hmm.
She's lost Parker once.
Yeah.
She just got Parker back. Now Parker's sick, so I get it. That's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
But they end up she gets to it looks like a barn where they are. I don't know, really creepy hellhole essentially. And he tells her that anyone who comes in, kill them. And then there's this really crazy fight scene between Mel
Which is
and
amazing.
Yeah.
That fight scene was awesome.
It was really awesome.
Unfortunately, it was between sisters, but that was cool.
They totally kick butt.
They do.
But yeah, against each other. I hated that. But I was like, dang.
Yeah.
But they end up, okay, I know, Ivan Soto, you're really mad about the way that the demon was killed, because he obviously had to be killed at the like center of his powers, which I guess is his dick. I don't know. Like, I didn't gather that at first. I kind of gathered that, but then when she threw the knife, I was like, damn.
Yeah. Okay, why were you mad though?
Yeah, well, I think he said that they're hitting us over the head with the whole like screw the patriarchy thing.
Okay.
But like,
I thought it was perfect aim.
Yeah, I get that,
Yeah.
but it's a show, and this is the basis of a lot of the show.
Yeah.
And it was funny.
I thought it was really hilarious. But I get it, Ivan.
Boss at home. His penis. I'll show that one. A bit over the top, Carlos Hernandez says, I don't know. Sometimes, like, in sci-fi shows, it does get like this. Like, you see it in The Magicians and shows like this. There's parts that are just like that. But it makes sense mythologically speaking. A lot of mythic texts were written like that. So, I'm not mad at it at all. It's over the top that he's using 10 women and sucking their souls for morality and life.
Exactly. That's crazy. Also, by the way, this was Tyler's first like villain role.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this was like his first like bad guy role in his acting career. So I thought he did amazing.
It's interesting though, because when he got introduced in Pretty Little Liars, everyone thought he was a bad guy because he was like the distraught bad boy, but actually a really good-hearted person.
I thought he did great though.
Oh my God. Carlos Hernandez, if it was a female demon and was hit in her nether regions, there would had to have been a letter to the CW. No, I don't know. I don't know if I would have been mad at that. If she was sucking the life out of men for virility and life.
Yeah. I think we just need to look at it as in a symbolic way. Like, not get too deep into... Yes, it must be painful to watch as a guy. I agree. But... in a symbolic way, the whole patriarchy thing can get,
I think Charmed is just like finding their voice or like trying to find how they're gonna do the punchlines of different social consciousness and justice moves. So I don't know.
That was toxic masculinity.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Let's get into Fiona. I don't know what to think of her because we see her when time is frozen outside with Nico and Harry. Fiona tries to get into Harry's brain before he dies and is like super mad about it.
She's really angry.
Yeah, I get it.
She's slapping him. Didn't she? Did I see that? Like that she slapped him
really hard.
Like, what?
She slapped the crap out of him.
Angry.
And I don't get it. So I think, well, my guess is that she was trying to find out stuff about Charity, but I don't know. It's really confusing why she would be becoming that angry if you're the one that's the good sister.
Right now, she's not seeming like the good sister.
No, it actually seems, I don't know. We can get into that when we get into predictions, but it got really interesting when she was talking about the Sarkana and she came back for Harry to save his life, apparently, even though we know that's not what she told Mel. Like, she didn't care about saving his life. And then she made a threat about 2 Sarkanas under her bed, and if Jada leaves fast enough, maybe she can save them. What do you think that means?
That she's evil. Why are you threatening Jada when she was helping you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's weird. What's her motive? What's your motive, Fiona?
Yeah.
Anyways, any final thoughts on this episode?
Final thoughts. No, I think we can get into it in the predictions.
Yeah. A lot of this episode was, I feel like, a setup for most of my thoughts are predictions.
Yeah.
But I like where they're going with it. And I think that they're finally going to come back to the source of all evil plotline, which is supposedly the plotline that started this entire season. That was supposed to be the main point of this entire season. So I hope that they do just that.
Yeah.
Let's get into our special segment.
Yes.
Where you break down the coinciding episode of OG Charmed.
Yes, let's do it.
I love that sound.
So this is named That 70s Show. It aired April 7th, 1999. It was written by Cheryl J. Anderson. A powerful warlock shows up claiming that he made a pact with the sister's mother in which he spared her life in exchange for the girl's powers. Fleeing him, the 3 sisters go back in time to the 1970s when their mother was still alive, and they try to prevent the pact. For those of you who remember this episode, I think it was one of the most, it was a really sentimental one because we get to see the Halliwell sister's mother and their whole interaction with her and how beautiful and sweet she is. We also got to see their grandmother. And in this episode, I think what the similarity to me had to be on an emotional level, just how heartbreaking it was to first we see Harry in this episode and how he's aging and on the brink of dying, and for that 70s show, for the Charmed OG, in that episode we see Phoebe sort of in pain, knowing that, okay, she's able to see her mom, but her mom is eventually going to die at some point. So I think on an emotional level, it was both really heartbreaking episodes, just to be sort of both Charm sisters are in the presence of someone who is about to die. Well, we don't know about Harry just yet, but he talks about it.
Yeah. No, I remember this episode. It was really sad.
Yeah, very sad.
And I did feel a lot of sad moments in this episode too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for the special segment. I love it. But Ivan Soto brings up a good point. Don't forget about Full Demon Parker. That's true. That's another also could be sad thing. And Maggie felt a lot of sadness in that moment where she couldn't even see him after she retrieved the demon blood, thanks to Macy, who also saved the day as a whole.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what happens with that too. But he was full demon.
He was scary to look at.
Yeah. Like full blown. And it must be hard for the mom.
Yeah.
But let's get into some news and gossip.
Yeah.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, so interesting news in the Charmed universe. Charmed will change showrunners for season 2, therefore changing kind of the creative direction. So right now, the current showrunner, Carter Covington, has exited, and he will be replaced by the husband and wife combo, Liz Kruger and Craig Shapiro. And they've worked on a few things, the CBS series Salvation, also Extant with Necessary Roughness, Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce. So I'm curious, those are a little bit of different genre than what we're dealing with, but I'm here for a husband and wife duo.
That should be cool.
And then Kamisha also has some.
Yes. Over the weekend, it was Rupert Evans' birthday, the gentleman that plays Harry. So we just want to wish him a very happy belated birthday.
Yes.
And our AfterBuzzers, why don't you go on and show him some love on his IG if you can. Wish him a belated happy birthday if you haven't. His IG is @Rupert_Evans.
Heck yes, happy birthday.
Yeah.
And yeah, also with the new showrunners, it is said that it will be more of a focus on magic, which I love. I want more magic. We can't there's never enough magic. So I am really curious to see where it goes, because I think that they have great actors. They have a great franchise behind them. There's just some tweaks that need to be done, but sometimes season 1s are they shouldn't be like held to the standard that they could be, I feel like.
No, I get that.
So we'll see. Are you ready for some predictions?
Yes, let's get in.
Everyone in the chat, write your predictions right now too. I really want to see what you guys are thinking.
TV.
What are your thoughts?
My predictions have to be everything around Fiona. I don't think Fiona is good. I think we're gonna find out that she is the bad sister and that Charity is actually the good sister.
Dang.
Yeah.
I know. I'm kind of worried too that she's the source of all evil.
Yeah.
Because she's really powerful. And if you were the good sister, like if you were that good, then your first goal wouldn't be vengeance.
Oh, yeah.
Like vengeance is a #1 sign, I feel like, of a lot of evil storylines across many different shows and books and things like that. Vengeance is a really bad sign.
Yeah.
Lola Mund in the chat. Maggie will help Parker become good again. O'Dane Price, I think Fiona went to the elders and gonna take down the elders. I'm okay with that if that's the case. Night Star, Fiona's evil. Carlos Hernandez, I think Fiona being immortal might be the source. Dang. I'm kind of scared about that. I do want to give some shout outs to people in this chat. Ivan Soto, Miss Bubbles, Lola Mund, O'Dane Price, Gratian Ryan, Night Star, Kristen Carter, Small Town Guy 938. Let's see, Boss at Home, Mark Ryan's Billie Jean Girl 24. There's a lot of you guys in here. Thank you guys so much for riding with us through this crazy Charmed run. Make sure, if you haven't already, hit that like button. And I also want to give some shout outs from last week's comments, because you know that we love you in the chat, but we also want to see your comments after the episode airs so we can keep the conversation going. Nas wrote, Steph, the fog that rolled in through the window and the cold associated with it was the demon from the first episode. The show poorly explains and never really fully started it, but that demon was sexually harassing Angela Wu, and Marisol was helping her testify and getting him fired. So she rolled up to kill her, but the crows scared him off. Interesting. Ted B, even in the OG Charm, they had problems using the elders. And Love to More 6, is it me or is everything happening so fast on Charmed? Yeah, that I was saying last time, like sometimes it feels really fast, sometimes it feels slow.
Yeah.
JS, the Charmed one said on site means on site. I love that. But thank you guys. We love the comments, and it keeps us. You guys are our other panelists. You know that, and sometimes you guys tell us things that I didn't even realize. But until next week, where can we find you, Kamisha?
Yes. Guys, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter @Kamisha Lauture.
You guys, thank you guys so much for staying with us through this episode. We will see you at the end of April to talk about episode 18 and kind of end the season with just a few more episodes left, sadly enough. But I'm really excited to see where they go in these last episodes. I think every episode gets better and better. Until then, I'm Steph Sabraw. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Steph Sabraw. Have a great week, everybody.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.